So we have our unit 4, this is lesson 12. So as you can see, the difference is, I just mentioned in our warm-up, now we have two absolute values. Okay, so that creates two kind of bounces, if you will, because I can move one over. If I moved one over, then what would your pictures be of? What would you have? If I moved one over, I had an absolute value on the left and an absolute value on the right. Yeah, you'd have two V's, exactly. So you'd have two V's, which would create sections of which they can intersect. Yeah. So we were good job. Yeah, we are not shading things in. We are learning. We are learning. This is fantastic. Okay, so Jefferson and Julia were asked to solve the equation. Jefferson solved it graphically. Julia solved it algebraically. So first off, with Jefferson, he put it in the calculator. I went ahead and put, you can do this, y1, you can put the 2x minus 3 minus x plus 4, and in your y2, you can put just the 8. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and just save a little time. I'm not going to get my calculator out. You guys can do it with me, but I'm just going to draw the picture the best I can here. So we know we have a line at 8. Okay, so there's my line at 8. And it looks like right about here. Gabby, do your lesson. Do your lesson. Okay. Okay, so that's roughly what it should look like. That's roughly what it should look like. Yep, yours looks kind of like that. Yours is just really big. And if yours looks a little different, that's okay. What is your solutions? Okay, this solution is -3, and then this solution is 15. So this one intersects at 15. This one is at -3. So that should be your answers. Okay, if you're having huge calculator problems, we can look at it in a second. Say it again. Yeah, you can't put a negative there. That's got to be a minus. So what's the problem? Sorry. It's because it's a combination of two of them. It's because it's this guy minus this guy. This guy's bringing it down. Well, it is allowed because, okay, this is why. This is actually really good that Sarah's saying this. Okay, she's saying, how's it negative? But look, if I put in, let's put in a 2, for example. Because see where 2's at? It's negative, right? What's 2 plus 4? What's the absolute value of 6? Now, what are we doing with that 6? We're minusing it. Okay, and so that's pushing us down. Now, this right here, if we put a 2 in, it's 4 minus 3 is 1. So 1 minus 6 is -5. So it's subtracting a number. So even though it's an absolute value, now if this is plus, then we wouldn't have any negatives. But since we're subtracting something, we still can get in the negatives. It's possible. Okay, just because we're subtracting something. Okay? All right, so the graphing part is kind of what you see is what you get. Let's look at the algebra part and see if we can make some sense of it. So it says Julia started to solve the equation 2x minus 3 minus x plus 4 equals 8 algebraically. So we need to come up with our domains. Okay? So our domains are what makes the absolute values 0 still. That's still our breaking points that we're going to look at. So I'm going to look at 2 now. That's what's different today. Okay, so just like from our last stuff we were doing, what makes this 0? 3 over 2. That's where the 3 over 2 comes from. What makes this 0? Negative 4. That's where this comes from. Okay, so our subdomain is negative 4 and 3/2. Okay, and what you have to do is think about it in terms of a number line. Negative 4 is furthest to the left. 3/2 is furthest to the right. And you kind of break it into, now we're looking at, I would call it like kind of 3 sections. We have 3 sections now that we're evaluating, not just 2 like we were doing yesterday. Okay, is everybody with me still? So one thing's different is we found 2 zeros now that cuts the number line twice, which makes 3 sections. Okay, so when subdomain is less than negative 4, so when everything's less than negative 4, that means we want the opposite of everything, because it's the furthest to the left. That means everything is negative. So that's why it is opposite and opposite here. We okay? No? Okay, well, what did we do yesterday? Everything to the left, we switched the sign to the opposite. Well, this time it's to the left of both of them, so both of them we switch the sign. We're going to talk about the middle. The right, everything will be what? Positive. So everything furthest to the left is negative, everything to the right's positive, the middle we're going to talk about. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. This is what my original was. We want the opposite. That was my original. We have the opposite. We take those and we plug those in. So here we are. Negative 2x plus 3 is here, minus a negative x minus 4, and now we just solve. Negative 2x plus the x gives you a negative x. 3 plus 4 gives you 7. Subtract the 7 over. Negative x is 1, so x equals negative 1. Now from our rule today, is negative 1 less than negative 4? And then what does that mean to us? It's rejected. Okay, so the same rules apply. We just have more. We have more breakpoints, if you will. Okay. Now the middle, things get a little bit dicey. Okay. Well, the way I look at it is 2x minus 3. What's its 0? 3/2, right? If I'm between these two, is 2x minus 3 left of its 0 or right of its 0? So I'm going to look up here. Which one of these numbers is 2x minus 3 is 0? Which one of these numbers? 3/2. So I'm in this section. Am I to the right or the left of that? What does left mean to us? Less than, or in terms of what we do? If we're left of the what? Yeah, that's a flip it. When you get left of it, you want opposite. We want negative. Left means negative. Okay? So that's why this right here, we want negative 2x plus 3. We want the opposite. Okay? Now the x plus 4, am I to the right or the left of its 0? The right, so I want the what? Normal. Exactly. That's how the middle is. You have the middle, one's going to be, one's not going to be. Okay, is there any questions yet? I know this is confusing. I said it was going to be hard. Want me to keep going? See what happens? Whoa. Okay. All right, so okay, so I have negative 2x plus 3, x plus 4. And so now that you have those, you insert those in. Now that you have those, you insert those in. So I'm going to insert them in. I'm going to do negative 2x plus 3 minus x minus 4 equals 8. Okay. Why it's a minus x minus 4? Because you're minusing the whole thing. Okay, so now we solve. I get negative 3x minus 1 equals 8. Add 1, add 1. Negative 3x equals 9. X equals negative 3. So now you ask yourself, is negative 3 between negative 4 and positive 3/2? It is. So this guy is good. We'll keep that. That is an answer. Because negative 3 falls right around here, which is between the two numbers. Okay, and the final one, bigger than 3/2, that's everything's positive, so we want the normal of everything. And so we're going to go 2x minus 3 minus x plus 4 equals 8. Minusing that whole group, so 2x minus x is x. Negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7. Add the 7, add the 7. X is 15. Is 15 bigger than 3/2? Yes. What were our answers from doing it graphically? Remember? 3 and 15. So we just did it algebraically. Yep. Why did I put x plus 4 in brackets? So that I know to myself that I'm minusing this whole group. So that means I'm minusing the x, I'm minusing the 4. It is a negative x, yes. You can also write, like I did them different. Like this one, I just did minus x minus 4. This one I did minus the group. They're the same.
I have a question.
Yep.
X minus x obviously is x, but why is it not like 0?
Where's that at?
Like, you know how you got like x minus 3 minus x plus 4?
X minus 3.
Like on the subdivision section. So I'm just saying, like, there's one on the right.
Here? Well, it's 2x though, right? Yeah, it's a 2x. It's not a 1x. So it's 2 minus 1 is 1.
Like if it was x and x, it would cancel.
Yeah, it'd cancel, then you'd have no solution. Yeah, that would not be good. Okay, anything else before we go to our last example here? Okay, you guys are doing good. I'm getting some good questions. Okay, so our last example says complete the solution to the equation. We have absolute value x plus 4, absolute value x minus 2. So what are my subdomains? So what are my zeros? 4 and 2, right? Okay, so on my number line, so this is going to be, my subdomain is going to be greater than negative 4, less than 2. And our domain here is going to be x greater than 2. That's your subdomains. That's what I was telling you is important today. So I got those. You just got to think about sections. Everything this way, that's less than negative 4. That's this one. Everything between here and here, that's between the two. Everything this way, that's bigger than 2. Okay? So we have 3 sections. All right, so here we go. This is the part really trying to hammer home for you. Left of negative 4, I want what in terms of these two? I want the negative of both of them, right? I want the opposite of both of them. So I want negative x minus 4, x plus 2, or negative x plus 2. Does that make sense? Somewhat. Okay, so I want the opposites because I'm to the left. So now we plug it in to the original and we solve. So up here on the left, I'm going to have negative x minus 4 equals negative x plus 2. And this is going to do, Eli, we're going to play out your nightmare from earlier. Plus x. Oh man, I don't have any x's. Does negative 4 equal 2? No. No solution here. So that means there's not going to be a solution less than negative 4. Okay? We comfortable with that? Now here, so this one subdomain is negative 4. I'm to the right of that, so I want the positive. This subdomain is 2. I'm to the left of that. I want the opposite. So that's the breakdown that we want. So now we plug these in. I'm going to have x plus 4 equals negative x plus 2, which we like now because when I move my x over, it won't cancel. 2x plus 4 equals 2. 2x equals negative 2. X is negative 1. Is negative 1 between 2 and negative 4? Yes, so that is a correct answer, an acceptable answer. Okay. And the last piece, x greater than 2. Okay, that's not an equal sign. That's for me underlining earlier. Greater than 2. That means both are positive, so we want just the normals. We set them equal to each other, we have the same problem. The x's cancel again. We get 4 equals negative 2, so we get no solution. Okay? So what happens is we have one answer. We have one crossing point, and that's it. Okay?
How do I know what one to flip for the something?
Say that one more time.
How do I know what one to flip on the something?
Yeah, in here?
Yeah.
Like you're saying you don't know which one to flip in the middle? Okay, how you know is it you ask yourself, you're in the middle, right? Okay, what makes x plus 4 0? Am I to the right of that or the left of that? I'm in the middle, so I'm on the right. So I mean, what's right mean to us? Positive, so you keep it normal. What makes negative 2 0? Positive 2. I'm to the left of that, so I want the opposite of that one. Does that make sense? Okay, anything else? Any other good questions to finish up this lesson? Okay. All right, then. I will let you try it. I'll be around for help.